After about a year and a half of being nomadic, I decided that this year I was going to try to start growing my roots somewhere. I found that I really wanted to call a place home, and I really wanted a community of people to lean on and to share my life with. So for that venture, I chose Bozeman, Montana, and in this video, I'm gonna share with you guys why I chose to move here. If it wasn't obvious, this is me, this is Bozeman. So there are really two primary reasons that I moved here, and that is the nature and the people. And I'm gonna start with nature, not because the nature is more important than the people, but because I think the people are brought here by the nature. And so they're very related. Obviously you gotta love the mountains, but what good are the mountains if you don't have people to be singing and dancing on top of them with? So I grew up in the mountains. I was born in Texas, but I moved to Colorado when I was about 2. And I spent my whole life there. And I really attribute it to a lot of who I am. I think people that grow up in the mountains, it's very hard to leave. Most of my friends from back home are in some mountain town or even still in Colorado. And a lot of people that are here in Bozeman grew up in Montana or grew up in Wyoming, Colorado, California, Washington. So I feel like I just can't leave. I can't escape them. The mountains really just draw me in. A lot of that is because it really just sparks my sense of adventure. I feel like when I look at a mountain peak, I just want to know what it's like on top of that mountain peak. Like, who doesn't? There's so much to see. There's all these nooks and crannies and caves and rocks and all these little things to explore. And that comes with a lot of mountain activities, which I think is a big reason why a lot of people move here. It's definitely a large part of the reason that I moved here. First and foremost, I love to ski. Skiing is my favorite thing on the planet. It's my favorite activity on the planet, I should say. And it has been for quite a while. I was doing it since I was in diapers. It's like breathing. I love to be on skis. And I used to be more intense with it, and I still can be, but these days I really just like to cruise and enjoy the sunshine, enjoy the powder when it comes, obviously, but I'm half there to ski and half there just because you get to sit on a lift that brings you up to mountain peaks. Like, what? Like, what? I'm very excited for this winter because I do plan on making some ski videos, because what type of Bozeman YouTuber, knowledge giver would I be if I didn't bring you guys along for some epic ski adventure? So you should give me a follow. Stay tuned for that. I love to climb. It's something that I haven't actually been able to fully get into. I've been a little bit injured since I got here, but I really love to boulder, and I want to get more into top roping, which is something I plan to do once I am healthy. Granted, I'm going to get healthy once winter starts, and so I might have to wait for next summer to really dive into that. Rafting, I love hitting the river. Who doesn't love hitting the river? I don't even want that to be intense. I just want a nice chill float. I know you can get the chill floats here. You can get some more intense ones as well. There's just a bit of everything for everybody. Camping, trekking, I love doing that. I love spending a night out in the woods. I'm not the biggest hiker, but if I'm hiking for the purpose of spending a night out in the woods, I will do that for 10 days at a time. I just love being out in the woods. And then the next are a bunch of activities that I actually am not into / don't know if I will get into, but just something that I know Montana and Bozeman has to offer. So I feel like, if there's more opportunity, more possibilities, then why not, One of those is fishing. People love to fish here. When I was driving up here from Colorado, I was going through the valley past Big Sky, and there were people just fishing, and no one was close to each other, but there were dozens and dozens of people all spread out across the river, and it's just such a great, serene way to spend an afternoon, honestly. Like, I don't know who wouldn't want to just sit in a river and just try to catch fish. Hunting is not something that I think I'll ever get into, honestly. I'm just not a big fan of killing, but I think that if you're someone that goes and you hunt elk and you get an elk and then now you're sharing elk with your family. I remember my dad used to make some elk breakfast burritos when I was growing up. Those were unreal. My favorite. Something I actually do want to get into is mountain biking though. People really like mountain biking here, and it's kind of like the ski equivalent for the summer, just riding down trails. Obviously you gotta bike up them, which is hard, but it's kind of like backcountry skiing. It just looks so fun, but I cannot yet afford a bike. It's quite an expensive sport. Most of these are, and so we will get into it once we have the means of getting into it. If you guys have some hobbies that you're interested in me showcasing on my channel, you guys should give me a comment. I'd love to make some videos so you guys know more of what you're gonna get into before you move here. And lastly, the mountains are just beautiful. Like, I love watching the sun go down over the mountains, and I love a snow-covered peak, and I love the fall when all the leaves turn yellow. I know on the East Coast, the leaves turn red, which is debatably prettier, probably prettier, and that's why most people on the East Coast say that fall is their favorite season. I did go to school in Boston, so I have a bit of expertise. I don't want to say expertise, but I know the area. I know what it's like to live in fall there. Period. Got to put that. So one of the things people have asked me is if nature is a big reason that I moved to Montana. Like, Colorado has nature too, but while that may be true, it's not the same. Montana is much more wild. It's, we border Canada here. It's a massive state. It's much less populated. It's much less densely populated. And like, there's grizzlies here, for example. Not that I moved here for the grizzlies, but in Colorado, we don't have that type of wildlife. It's really, even though Bozeman is a city and the city can be a bit crowded at times, you can be alone in 15 minutes, maybe even 10 minutes, honestly, if you know where to go. There's just so much open space. Like today, it is a beautiful 75-degree day. I think I'm gonna just drive up near Bridger Bowl and just go post up in a hammock and read for a bit. So I'm really looking forward to that. But in Montana, I do think it's just a tad bit easier to go find some serenity. And since it's bigger, there's just a bit more to explore. We're right next to Yellowstone National Park. We're close to Big Sky. We're 5 hours south of Glacier National Park. So there's a ton of stuff to see here, and I can't wait to explore. Some of the other reason I moved is I just spent most of my life in Colorado, so it's time for something different. I'm someone that likes new experiences, and I felt like Bozeman and Montana in general was a great place to go find that. One thing that people have to say about Montana is the weather, especially when it gets to winter. It's going to be pretty chilly, but the thing is, in the summer and the fall and a lot of the spring, it is just gorgeous here. Like, yes, it can get up to 90 degrees, but there's places I spent a summer in Texas where it was over 100 degrees most days. So it really is not that bad here. The winter, I have not experienced a winter yet here, but the saving grace of winter here is that you can ski. Like, Boston winters are cold. I don't think quite as cold, but it's super windy there, and you're 2.5 hours from bad skiing. And here, maybe it's colder, but you're 20 minutes away from good skiing. So I'm gonna take that trade. And though it's gonna be cold, you can at least utilize that with some snowmobiling, skiing, sledding, snowball fights, hot chocolate, Christmas festivals, whatnot. I know I'm acting pretty confident about the winter, considering that I actually haven't spent a winter here yet. If you guys are calling BS or just want to see how I'm going to handle the winter, you should stay tuned, because I'm definitely going to post an update once it gets cold out. We are right in the peak of fall here, and it's just absolutely stunning. The leaves are all turning. And this screenshot was actually from a few weeks ago, early or mid-September, I forget. But look at that forecast, like mid-70s every day for 10 days and no rain, which I know another thing with the weather is that sometimes it doesn't rain for a while, and then that can cause fires. And there were a few fires close by this year, not quite in Bozeman, but yeah, it's definitely at risk. This summer was nice. It rained relatively frequently, so we didn't have to deal with that so much this year. So the second part of that 1-2 punch is the people. And I really want to grow a community where people are like-minded and people want to be outside, people want to explore. And so something really obvious but wise that an old basketball coach told me when I was complaining about the dating scene in Boston. I was complaining about going to bars and people want to go talk to girls, and I don't really want to go meet girls in bars. Like, that's just not really my style. I don't think the best place to look for my person is in a bar. And he just said, if you think your person is outside camping, hiking, skiing, go camp, hike, ski, and meet people that are doing that. And that's so obvious. And that is what I've taken to try to make some friendships as well. Like, I want people that are adventurous. I want people that are going to want to go hike, want to go be outside, want to go spend a few nights in the woods when you can. I want to be around people that want to do similar things that I want to do. I also think people in the mountains and in adventurous communities just say yes to things. I really wanted to move somewhere where people just said yes. Like, do you want to go camp? Yes. Do you want to go ski? Yes. Do you want to go mountain bike? Yes. I think that it doesn't need to be a whole thing to try to get your friends to do something. And so I wanted to find people that were going to just say yes to plans and go give me company while I'm doing things outside. Another thing about people that live in the mountains is they just really appreciate the earth. They appreciate Mother Nature. They appreciate being outside, enjoying the swaying of the trees, the flowers, the rivers, the blue sky, the snow. I just want people that are in awe of the world. And I think that people that live in the mountains are very frequently more prone to being very appreciative for the earth that we live on. So another thing with the adventurous and the saying yes to things is that those people are going to push me. I definitely had periods of my life where I'm a bit lazier than I'd like to be, and being around people, making friends that are going to say, let's go ski, let's go do this. Like, it's impossible for me to say no. And so it's much easier for me to get out of my comfort zone. I think a lot of people that you're going to meet in the mountains, and so far it's been true here, is people are just badass, honestly. Like, there are people, a lot of people are better than me at almost all of the things I like. I think skiing is the only thing that I can really compete in here. But in terms of rock climbing, fishing, biking, rafting, like, I am a novice at those things. And I think that building a community of people here is going to really help me get better at those things once I can put more time into working on those hobbies. There was a kid I met in my neighborhood that invited me to go play some sports with his friends, called it Tuesday Sports Night. And after we were done one day, these three people were talking about how they went and skinned up Bridger Bowl mid-May after a snow last year, and that it was unbelievable. And the day we were playing sports, it was raining, and they were talking about, oh my goodness, the dirt biking tomorrow is going to be just unreal. Apparently it's better after rain. And just hearing them be so excited and talk about all the things that they wanted to do outside, all the things they have do and will do, was super exciting. And I can't wait to meet a lot more people like that. Some of the other factors that are minor but still played a role in me moving here is, one of them is that it's just bigger than home. My hometown, it's funny, people give me kind of a second look when I say that here, because obviously Bozeman's not like a big city by any means, but there's like 75,000 residents here now, and my hometown has about 25,000 full-time residents. So, do the math, that's triple the size. There's quite a bit more people here, and just that size difference is enough to have a lot more resources here. For example, my hometown didn't have Pizza Hut. Not that Pizza Hut is the marker of a big city or not, but just that type of very basic thing that you find most places, like my town didn't have that. So it's something that there's just more access to stuff here. Bozeman's also still growing, not nearly as fast as it was growing after COVID, but for someone like me that is pursuing real estate, it is good to find somewhere that is growing, because there's a lot of people in real estate. So it's hard to make space for myself somewhere that is small and staying small. It's much easier to try to find my role when it's a bigger community that is still growing. Something that's important to me that I don't necessarily know how it will change over the next few years is the music scene. I think that Bozeman has pulled in a lot of artists that I'm super interested in. And yeah, they're not gonna bring in like the Red Hot Chili Peppers or Taylor Swift, for example, but like Billy Strings was here a couple weeks ago. And Mo was here earlier in the summer. Mount Joy was here. Gregory Alan Isikoff was here. So I think there's a lot of access to music that I'm interested in, bluegrass, rock. And I believe that as Bozeman continues to grow, that will improve as well. But who knows? Something that I really got accustomed to living in Boston is living in a college town. Because of MSU, this town is just younger and more vibrant and more energy. There's more activities to do. As most of you probably do know, Montana doesn't have any professional sports. So just having those college game days to go to or to be around is really important, and it really brings the energy. The Bobcats are exciting to watch. I haven't gone to a game yet, but I plan on it early October when I get a chance. But I'm definitely excited to go check out some basketball games. When there's a college around, there are just a bit more activities to do. There's more events, there's more energy. Like earlier today, there was literally someone that flew around in their plane, and they drew with their jet stream MSU with a heart. And they actually did a little smiley face off in the distance too. So those are the main reasons I moved. And that is prior to having ever visited Bozeman or stepped foot in the state of Montana in general. Since I've been here, there are a few things that I didn't come for, but I'm very happy to have found. And from these photos, you guys may be able to draw the correlation, but Montana's got a real southern vibe about it. It's just super awesome to be somewhere that is similar nature-wise to Colorado, but then has more of those southern elements that I'm used to from Texas as well. I think I mentioned that I was born in Texas. It's fun hearing country music more consistently again. Not that I'm the biggest country fan, but it's just different than what I'm used to. And it's just fun that there's rodeos and cowboys and cowboy hats and swing dancing. I did not expect to find swing dancing here, but it's super cool. I haven't been able to go yet, but I do plan on it. I like to boogie. The question is, how have my first few months been, and have those reasons held up? The answer is absolutely in spades. Like, the nature here is unbelievable. I just went camping a few days ago up at Ferry Lake here. I just posted up in a hammock and read a book and meditated and just sat by the lake and looked at the mountains and just marveled. I got to enjoy one of the most insane night skies that I've seen, at least in a long time. And I'm making a little video of that, so you guys should stay tuned if you want to see more of the scenery out here. The people here have also been super friendly. Like, I told you about that kid that invited me to go play sports with his friends. I literally just met him a few steps down the way. Like, he was just taking a walk at sunset. I was taking a walk at sunset. He said, "What's up?" I said, "What's up?" back. And then we just chatted for like 10 minutes and became friends. So I found that with a lot of other people here, it's very easy to chat. And even though a lot of people are interested in similar things, especially like outdoor activities, it's still pretty diverse, which I didn't expect so much. So far, I'm very grateful and very excited that I moved here. I cannot wait to just keep exploring. I haven't been able to see almost anything yet. There's so much to see. I haven't been to Yellowstone yet. I haven't been to Glacier yet. There's still so much to experience. And even without having experienced that, I'm still loving it here. So if you are thinking about moving, you should hit me up and we should chat about it, because I know moving somewhere new can be scary, but moving here has been super awesome, and I can't wait to spend however long my journey has me stay here. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys soon.